Hey there, I'm here answering an absolute value question. This question asks, do I combine like terms if I have the absolute value of something, some function of x, with some function of x outside of it? Can I bring the negative 2x here inside of the absolute value bars? Does it matter? And the answer is yes, it matters. You cannot do that. You might sometimes get the right answer, but you would be lucky to get the right answer. You would not be correct. So we're going to look at a pretty simple example here that is going to show why it does matter. It's going to be x plus 2x equals 9, right? So I'm going to do it the way that you wish it works, because we always wish that math could be so much simpler, but sometimes we have to jump through little hoops. But they're hoops that make sense. So this is the wrong way to do it. So let's just go ahead and bring it in like you want it to. Bring that 2x into the x, and then we will have absolute value. Absolute value of 3x. I guess I didn't want to make it black. Absolute value of 3x equals 9. Now, if you watched the other video that I sent you, you know that this gives us two different cases. Case 1 is that x is greater than or equal to 0. And case 2 is when x is less than 0. Okay, in the first case, what happens? Well, the absolute value sign will just drop. We have 3x equals 9. We divide both sides by 3 and get x equals 3. In this other case, we get that, well, if it's negative, then we want the inside to equal negative 9. I'm sorry, 3x is greater than 0. It's whatever is inside the absolute value bar. That was a slight mistake, but no biggie. Whatever's inside of the absolute value signs, that's what we're talking about. If that's positive, then we have one answer. If that's negative, we have another answer. So if what's inside the absolute value bar, which is 3x, is equal to negative 9, then, well, we divide both sides by 3 to get x equals negative 3. Seems nice, right? Let's see if those answers work, though, in this original equation. So, well, if we plug this 3 in here, we get 3 plus, absolute value of 3, which is just 3, plus 2 times 3 equals 9. And that gives us 3 plus 6. And yeah, that does equal 9. So we would get to check that one off. That would be correct. But let's look at the other case. If x equals negative 3, let's take a look. We have the absolute value of negative 3 plus 2 times negative 3. And that's equal to 3 plus negative 6. Oops, that's a plus sign. I meant to put negative 6. And that gives us negative 3. Negative 3, that is not 9. That is not equal to 9. So that is why this is the wrong way, because it gives us wrong answers, very simply. Okay, now let's make another board, and we're going to do it the right way this time. So let's do absolute value. We'll change the font color. Absolute value of x plus 2x equals 9. What we want to do is absolute value needs to be by itself. We need to isolate absolute value. We'll have our two cases here. First, let's get the absolute value by itself on one side. We do that by subtracting 2x from both sides. And we end up with absolute value of x equals 9 minus 2x. So we have the two cases. Case 1, x is greater than 0. That gives us x equals 9 minus 2x. We add 2x to both sides. Oops. And we end up with 3x equals 9 and x equals 3. That totally makes sense. That is a correct answer because 3 plus 6 does equal 9. Let's look at case 2. We're almost done here. Case 2 is when x is less than 0. Well, then we have x is equal to the negation of this guy here, 9 minus 2x. So he would need to be negative 9 minus 2x. And then x would be equal to negative 9 plus 2x. We have to distribute that negative sign. We would subtract 2x from both sides, or add negative 2x, same thing. We would end up canceling out this side, and then we would end up with a negative x here. Oops. Negative x equals negative 9. That means x equals 9. But wait, x is less than 0. This is not a solution. So x equals 3 is the only answer. How can that happen? Well, that can happen when, well, this is just a quick note on things. How can you only get one answer to an absolute value equation? Well, this absolute value equation has only one 0 absolute value of x. That's a graph with it, y equals the absolute value of x. So when 0 equals the absolute value of x, that's what the graph looks like. So if we were to shift this 3 to the left here, we would end up with absolute value of x equals 3. And we would end up with x equals 3. Sorry. Not 3 to the left, but 3 to the right. I was thinking negative 3. So x equals 3 would be the only answer. And this would be absolute value of x minus 3 equals 0 is the graph that we're looking at. So those are like equivalent equations. Anyway, that's just some extra information for you. So the reason it matters is because, one, it gives us wrong answers. That was not the correct answer. And when we do them, we have to be careful of our positive and negative signs. Anyway, that's it. I hope that helped.